DC, home of the press, home of the feds, home of some of the most notorious crackheads.
Yo, first of all, we appreciate all y'all resubscribing to the show. We know this is our third time, our third show, our third iteration of this particular podcast. But we appreciate the effort. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We love y'all for doing it. Now, welcome to the OGs of the DMV. Technically, this is the Who Touched the Bobby show. But we're going to leave that to the end of the show because Big Al has this whole thing set up for us. Right? So, Washington football team beat Seattle. We beat Tampa Bay. We beat Carolina.
That's right.
And we're going to beat the Raiders.
Who?
Let's get to the show.
Keep it real where the hood's at. Swing a wooden bats at your so-called cats. You know how we roll. Y'all get up in the back. Roll call in the back. Stole the Bama, watch his ass go flat. DC, when you got chickens that make it harder to get them digits. The skins and them cowboy tickets. DC, the K-Corps, dirty Cadillacs. Desert Eagle cannon blast. Watch your back. Four corners of hate, four corners of death. Four corners that'll take your last breath. Northeast, southwest, southeast, and northwest. It's the devil's diamond, feel it from your head to your chest. Hope you got your best.
All right, we back. Here we go. We got a guest star on today. We're bringing him on. He did our Wizard show, man. He did such a good job. We figured we'd bring him on for the Washington football team against the Los Angeles Rams. So, let's bring him on, Big Wole. What's up, baby?
What's going on, man? You call me a star? Wow.
I meant to say superstar.
Came on two shows. That's
Hey,
not
usually we come out
I felt kind of feeling myself now. I got a shoulder swag a little bit on that one. Where I got it, like, let me lean back a little bit on that. I'm gonna lean back a little bit.
Lean back, come on, lean back, come on, lean back, come on, lean back, come on.
I'm a star right now. All right.
Talk about our Washington football team on a streak. We're on a roll. We're on one of those streaks that we had last year, may I say.
Interesting.
The drive for the playoffs.
That's right.
We are in full mode. We got the gas pedal to the floor. Heineke apparently has found himself. He's not throwing interceptions. He's not doing stupid throws where it's almost intercepted. He is playing his best ball that he has played, even from the playoff game last year, I believe. It's more sustained, which means that he is trying to get a starting job in the NFL. And it may be for us. Who knows? Last week we played Seattle. It was touch and go for most of the game. We should have blew them out. Honestly, we should have blew them out. Their defense is weak.
That's
Their
water.
offense is apparently even weaker.
Except their linebackers.
Bad. Huh?
Except their
I'm not worried
linebackers.
about their linebackers. I'm
No,
talking
they
about
line-
the defense as a whole. They just weren't clicking. Our team should have been clicking a little better. They did, was it 5 3 and outs? Our defense was balling last. They wasn't running the ball nowhere. They didn't get no running yards. Passing yards, they barely got into the last drive, which, Lord have mercy, we got to do better. What the hell was that?
What the hell is even that?
How's a man pop open in the middle by
It's not a
himself?
Washington football team game unless it's a heart attack and then involved. It's just what it is.
We always get beat. I mean, it wasn't the deep post this time, but it was they were community. Anyway, Big Al, what you got, baby?
Everett. Daggett, I gotta.
Let's start with the good, though. Let's start with
the good.
The
Start
good
with the
is our offensive line makeshift as it was. We had third stringers. We had dudes from the Popeyes Chicken 2 days before out there.
That's right.
We had people out there in some kind of way. Our offensive line held up. Not only held up, they was the stars of the offense.
Again, the second game in a row.
Second game in a row where these fourth stringers and Popeyes dudes out there getting it. They eating the chicken sandwich as they playing. But they good though.
Mumble sauce on their lip.
Get mumble sauce on the lip.
Ooh, sucky soup.
We're gonna talk about that later in the show.
Offensive line was the good. That was one of the goods. And for the most part, the D-line was good. They didn't make a lot of sacks, but they played their position with, again, third stringers at the defensive tackle spot. Second and third stringers at the defensive tackle spot. Shaka Tony made a sack, I think, even. He was out there. Everybody was out there. So we got to give the kudos to the defensive and offensive line. They controlled the game. You know what I'm saying? And then the other good was my man, Heineke. The brother don't got a strong arm, but he is a playmaker. You got to give it to him. He's a playmaker. So that was the other good. Those two things were the good. We're going to start. Trey, what was the good for you?
The good for me was the Logan Thomas and Curtis Samuel signings. That's what was good for me. What was good for me was when they came back, and I actually had them. I checked the boxes to say, no, they're not coming back. Washington style. But the fact they were out there gave Mr. Heineke more weapons. And with Mr. Heineke more weapons means Mr. Turner has more weapons. And then Mr. Turner has more weapons, who has shown up with coaching status for the last 2 games. I was very excited about that, which means even though we're going into the Raiders game a little bit more banged up, if you could think that we can be more banged up, we are. We're more banged up. I still feel confident because of the added factors offensively. When you have a Thomas that is 9 times out of 10 unmatched when he's out there, when you have a Curtis Samuels, who is that flex player that we've been talking about and waiting to see, and though we're using him sparingly, which is good, we're not forcing him out there, I think that weapon right there has the defense on their heels. So then you can have another little squeaky thing. Now, JD, I understand, was a no-show in practice. That's not good. But
you get a water bug.
Yeah, that's right.
The water bug.
Baby, the water bug.
We've been waiting on him, and guess what? I think that hopefully, prayerfully, Turner knows the plays that he runs best and get him the ball. And give him the ball. And I say give him the ball because that's the only way he's going to give us what we need to see or do. And so with that being said, as I have been saying for the last couple of games, we now had to shift gears. We thought it was going to be defense. We were going to hang our hat on. It's offense, folks. And our offense with Taylor Heineke feeling confident, being able to throw the ball to the receivers he has, now with the receivers he also has, and handing the ball off to the same running back committee. I like it. I'm not afraid. The Raiders might have to get ready because here we come again.
Wole.
For me, it's been more like the offensive approach. I just think that, Scott Turner's done, and I've been hard on Scott Turner. Scott Turner has done a great job. I know, right? The last 3 weeks, he's been good because he's limited. I know he's limited Taylor Heineke to a point where now he's been more of a manager. Not asking him to throw for like 40 times. You're not limited because you're running the football more. You're using the running back by committee, which I like that they're playing more of more complimentary football because the defense, what was going on with the defense is that you're trying to have Taylor Heineke look like freaking Tom Brady throwing the ball some odd times. He's not at that level, right? So now with the defense, you get 3 and outs, the defense is on the field a lot. Now what you've done, you've played. I mean, we've been watching football team, watching the Redskins, watching football team fans forever. We've watched Coach Gibbs. It's all about winning time of possession. Scott Turner's doing that. He's playing that style. They're playing more physical football. It's not about throwing for it's physical. You see how Gibson is running the football? Yes. He's running in like a grown man. They playing grown man football. Downhill. So now they're all about time possession. It's a different mindset. It's not like today's football where people are trying to air it out. They're about winning the time of possession. Now your defense isn't on the field that long. Now your defense is fresh. Now them boys when they're up, they can pin their ears and go after the quarterback. Jonathan Allen playing great defense. Like, to me, is a Pro Bowler. You got Deron Payne was lights out against Seattle. So there's so much they're doing as a unit, as a collective unit, which is allowing them to win football games. I love the style of football they're playing because this style of football they're playing will keep them, will have them in all game, will keep them in all games. You know what I mean? Even against teams that are more talented. Look at the game against the Packers. They tried to do the same thing as the Packers, but the issue was they couldn't score in the red zone. But they stayed in the game throughout because they were trying to play a complete possessionist kind of football game. So they play that type of football, they fine. I feel like they'll be good against the Raiders. It's all about not turning the football over. If they can win the time of possession, they're gonna be in all these games.
I think that the last game against Seattle, it's almost like we were talking about the Wizards. It was a more complete game, both sides of the ball. Yeah. The offense played well. It was good game call, good game plan. Heineke played well. The running backs played well. The receivers played. Everybody played well together. The line is our base. That's our strength right now. I think they can do a little bit better with opening holes up, you know. But that's
third stringers though. It's third.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's fine. We got what we got.
Yeah.
But also the defensive line. If you watch the defensive line play against Seattle, they were pushing the offensive line back into his lap. He didn't have time to sit there and run around and do all this craziness that he usually does. So, as a whole, the defense played well together. They're playing through the whistle. They're playing through the ball. They're gang tackling. Everybody's hustling. They must. I don't know. Trey said they watch our show. I can't confirm that, but
that's right.
Either. So for me, I just think that the whole team together, the last game we played against Seattle was a good game. Like I said, we should have scored more, but we had what we had. Now, when Samuels gets a few more games under him, he should be rolling into shape come Dallas. Rolling into shape. And you know they already scared of Gibson. Yeah. You know they're scared of Gibson.
They're scared of Terry too. They're scared of Terry. They gotta be scared. I don't want them to change their game plan though. I don't want them to go thinking they can air it out. I'm cool with the way they play.
You stay. I mean, that's we said last week. Don't change the defense at all.
Don't change. I mean, the offense. I wouldn't even change the offense. I'm cool with how they play offense. I'm cool with it.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that with Logan Thomas out there and Curtis Samuels out there, along with Terry, you have more options.
Definitely.
But you have more threats as well.
Threats, yeah.
Even if you're doing the same thing, the threat of those guys on the field is more than what we had over the last 3 games. So you're talking about going forward.
AP theory. Oh, the AP theory. AP theory took me 3 iterations for y'all to finally get it. The AP theory.
Well, he's in Seattle now, so your theory's in Seattle too. So.
They
picked him up. They just picked him up. Seattle
picked him up. Hey, look, we're playing the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day. I was at home, had my turkey out, and the Raiders played those the Cowboys. Cowboys.
Same thing.
They played the Cowboys. And the Raiders made my Thanksgiving. And how they made my Thanksgiving is they put points on the board against those Cowboys. Yeah. And this week, we have to do those long drives, but we have to end it with 7. Yeah. We cannot end it with this. We couldn't kick field goals last week, so just stopping at the 1-yard line. Yeah. This week, we have to put 7 on the board. I personally feel that we have to put 28 points on the board. Deacon, how are we going to get 28 points on the board?
We're going to have to control I don't even know if we need 28 points. We need to keep them from getting 28 points. Yeah. That's the most important thing. I think we have to keep the ball.
Them jokers score.
I know, but we have. That's not every game though. Not every game. That's not their DNA.
Cowboys have a ranked defense, and they put.
I know, but you know.
Well, they got the boogeyman. The problem is they got the NFC's boogeyman for the Raiders. That's the problem. They got Deshaun. He kills everybody from the NFC East. That's the boogeyman.
Well, Deshaun gonna blow a tire next week, so he ain't worry about that. I'm thinking that our defense is gonna have to show up. Mm-hmm. If our defense shows up, I think we can win this game easily. Because I don't think they're going to play like they played last week. That was Thursday. It was a short turnaround week. Dallas sucks on Thursdays. No matter whether they win or lose, they still suck. So I think there's going to be a whole different team come Sunday that we play against the Raiders. And I think that if we don't get too high on the horse about winning 3 games in a row, we can get that 4th game. Because sometimes we get too far ahead of ourselves. We get head over our skis, and then we want to do, like you said, throw 50 times a game because we think that now I know what to do. You know, I'm gonna throw it here, I'm gonna throw it there. Just because we got weapons don't mean we have to change our scheme. Just move it forward. You know, you can incrementally go forward, but don't do it all at one time. So I have no problem. I think that this, of course, until we lose, I ain't calling it a loss. I think we're gonna win this game, and I think we're gonna win it pretty easily. I just think I think we're gonna win pretty easily.
And Vegas.
Carr is a good quarterback.
He doubled down.
Carr is a good quarterback.
I like Carr.
But I just think that with the defense playing the way it is now, remember, it's a different scheme. This ain't like 3 games ago. They're playing more simple and they're playing downhill. With that type of defense, I believe that we can win games that way. Just keep the ball out of the hands of the other team, and we're going to eventually score. So you're right. We got to score points. We got to score every time we go down the field. We got to score. Who knows what our kicker's going to be this week?
Oh man,
Ryan Johnson.
I know,
Mr. Johnson.
This time I'm really going to kick it. I'm going to kick the habit. This is the end of all my faults.
Well, I know his name, but I don't know his schedule.
Oh no, he's a Chicago kicker, so I'm with you. I don't know what he's gonna do. Chicago kickers, I don't trust Chicago kickers
for a reason.
I heard he used to cook hot dogs for Portillo's in Chicago.
Look, man, here we go again. They getting them UPS folks.
They came on down.
There they go again, man. There they go.
He's out there kicking, man. Like, hey, man, he was just a couple of days ago. He was almost getting that manager spot. And
look, man. Like what? Like Calvin from McDonald's or something, like that type of thing, like Calvin McDonald's.
The new member of the McDonald's management. Calvin. I used to hate that commercial because the way he said
me too. Racist ass commercial. Racist commercial.
Calvin's like, oh man.
We just picked up a fullback as well. He's on
the
practice squad, but he's on the practice squad. I don't know if he's going to be active this week, but we need it because if JD's down, then we're going to have to get somebody to make a yard because that was disrespectful the way we were like 3rd and 1 for 3 times.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
It was a bad play calling too.
But that goes back to what I said earlier was that one thing that Seattle did have was decent linebackers.
Wagner is probably the best linebacker in the game.
Yeah.
He's savage. He was really hitting. You can hear it. He was knocking jokers out. He was hitting.
I was sitting in the house like, ow, damn. It was like,
that hurt me. I was like, my shoulder, my neck, and my back, back and my neck.
If there's any tape that we need to keep is that Seattle game tape. Because that's what we want our linebackers to do. You know, especially a young, Jamin Davis. Yeah,
I like the way he's playing now.
Yeah, a lot better.
He played good, man.
We're watching him improve overnight. Yes.
Yeah, man. Like I always was like, man, just get that dude some burn and just let him keep going and growing. I mean, especially when your defense was playing like trash anyway. What are you gonna do? Add an extra 7 points? Oh, so I'm sorry. Instead of 35, it's 42. Sorry, he gave up the 30. He gave you 40 when you give it up 35. But I'm with you, Deacon. I think that if you look at this Washington defense over the last some odd weeks, I know the Cowboys, they score, they like the Raiders scored a lot against the Cowboys, but Washington, to me, over the last some odd weeks, their defense has been better than the Cowboys, especially the quarterback play they've seen. You know what I mean? They saw Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers only scored 24. Everybody thought Aaron was going to give him like 50 or something. He scored 24 on them. You saw Tom Brady. Look what you did Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Look at Russ. You saw MVPs. You know what I'm saying? We were criticized last season for not going against star quarterbacks. What did we do in this stretch run? We dominated superstar quarterbacks. So I'm just saying, like, if you look at this defense compared to what Dallas has seen, I like Derek Carr, but Derek Carr gave you 30 plus, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, you saw Tom Brady. Tom Brady gave you how much opening night? So I'm just saying, like, this team has already seen this defense to me at this point of the season now, because sometimes people want to judge this defense off of what we saw earlier. This defense in December is when you're supposed to peak, and they peaking. Like this defense right here is on a whole different level. The Raiders, they're gonna have to work. Like they're gonna have to work. Washington, their issue is gonna have to be, in my opinion, because I think Waller may not play. Looks like Waller was doubtful on the report. So Waller doesn't play. You just got to make sure that Deshaun. I know it's funny, but Deshaun, you take away the big play. Because
Deshaun has always been on.
Look, man, exactly, bro. You got to keep it a buck. If you're Washington, you know Philadelphia Deshaun has always been a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you just got to make sure that you limit the big play. You limit the big play, then I'm with you, Deke. I think it could be an easy W. It could be an easy W, especially if you don't got Waller. If they don't got Waller, bro, I'm sorry. If you don't got Waller, you good. You should win the game. Good, though. That dude. Real good. Like real good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Trey Z, how are we gonna slow him down, Trey Z? Because it looked like we gotta put 28 points on the board. How we gonna put points on the board, and how we gonna slow them down?
Well, one thing Scott has done is continue to run the ball. I don't care who's back there. Run the ball. Run the ball, run the ball. Now, personally, I thought JD, and now there's been a debate here on this program, I think he's a better back than Gibson. And I'm not taking anything away from Mr. AG himself, who played a phenomenal game, and I can see him running more angry and everything. Still always concerned about how he's holding that rock, because he has put it on the ground many times. But McKissick just had that one little extra thing. He seems to get the holes faster. He does catch the ball better out the backfield, and he runs just as angry. And I just never really had an issue with him. So him not playing was a concern of mine. But I do always believe that we do have a young man in Patterson who can and will get you what you want in the right play. He's not the one to create a play right now. That's what I'm saying. What he is good at is that you give him in his element, he's going to be awesome. So that's the guy I want to see get the screen. That's the guy I want to see run those sweeps, because that is his element. And when he gets that going, and we keep running and we keep running and we keep running. And you could see in the last game, Seattle defense was like, "You're not gonna run it again, are y'all? Please."
They ain't want none of that.
Yeah, they're like, "Don't run it again." It was like, "Yeah, it's 2nd and 6. We're running." And they're like, "God damn!" And we could tell them that, and they were like, ran the ball, and it was still get the first down, because it was like, we just tired. These guys is just running it and kicking our butt. And you know who likes when they run all the time?
Offensive line.
That's right. Offensive linemen love it, because they like, you know what? I've been standing here letting you come and punch me in the mouth for all these damn pass plays. My turn. And they pulling guards are coming down. Everybody's having a good time. Moshing dudes. Oh, you little cornerback having to jump out here. You think you're going to stop me? I'm going to eat you. You know what I'm saying? And so that is, in my mind, Al, the run game has to stay consistent. We can't have like we had, and if you go back to the data, beginning of the year, we had 19 attempts. Like 2 or 3 of the games we lost. 19 attempts in the run game. That's why we lost. Anything over 25 is a successful game. And I'm just being real with that. And then with Logan Thomas, like, nobody can check me. Y'all know I'm Logan Thomas, right? And then you got a Curtis Samuels, like, by the way, I'm Mr. Curtis Samuels. I can start in the backfield. I can start the slot. I can start on the end. Hey, guess what? I'm Curtis Samuels. Those are the things we're gonna win this game, man. Go ahead. Put my W up now, Deacon. Put it up.
Deacon, what's the injury report looks like? I haven't got a chance to look at it, man. What do we look like injury-wise? That's going to mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, we decimated on the offensive line. Our center, we're going to have to go with Ishmael, which is our 5th round pick from 2 years ago, which is time for him to get in the game.
I agree.
It is time. And when he was in the game, he was holding his own.
All day.
No problem with that. No problem. So I like to get that young fella in there, get him some game time, just like JD. Get him in there, get some game time. The more they play the game, the more they learn, the more they know.
That's right.
I mean, other than that, man, we pretty healthy. Just the line sucks, you know.
We lost our safety, right? We lost Collins, right?
Nah.
No, he's ankle. He's sprained ankle. Be back. He's good.
Yeah,
He's good.
he's good.
He's good. He's good.
He says he's gonna play. Okay,
He's gonna play. He's good.
Yeah.
The real issue.
He's
a
linebacker, baby.
Linebacker.
He's a downhill linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
And playing it great too.
Yeah,
Best linebacker on the team.
He is the best linebacker.
And you could point to that as the change to our defense too.
That's true.
Hands down.
When he went to linebacker is when our defense started playing like that.
That's true.
Also, you got and that's and I know, and also for real talk. I know what people want to talk about, but I call it coaching, but.
It was.
Sometimes the injuries help. You know, you got defensive ends who just play their roles and they don't lose containment. And I sometimes I blame that on coaching because I feel like because they're bringing more pressure. So now they're bringing more pressure because they feel like those ends can't generate pressure on their own. So now they're bringing more pressure. And I felt like they did that with, with Chase and Montez, they would have a similar result. But it is what it is. But the scheme they're running, the pressure they're bringing with those defensive ends that they do have, that's helped. It's helped. I know it sounds bad to say it, but it helps. It has helped this defense.
Look, the Raiders have one of the best sack teams.
They got that, man.
Got two good defensive ends who are in the top 10 in sacks. They got one gentleman, that's to say he's an alternative brother, and he is, I think, like number 4, number 5 in the league. He's probably the best alternative brother that ever played the game. Besides him and Odell Beckham, I think, are the two. And this joker is like that.
Those statements I
where you go? The alternative. I was like, what's he going with this?
Out low. And not those of DMV Sports 3. Here at DMV Sports 3, believe in and all things that require a part of that. Again, Big Al's statements are his alone.
I thought he was saying nocturnal.
No, I knew what he was saying, but I was trying to see where he was going with it. I was like, wait a minute, is he saying what I think he's about to say? What he saying?
On the real tip, the dude is like
Is it NASA?
Huh?
Is it NASA who came out? Some guy just came out, right? That's who
It doesn't matter.
He's trying to dead it quick. He's trying to
about
anything. Trey's trying to dead it quick. He's trying to dead it quick. It don't matter.
We're talking about the Raiders game.
We talking about the Raiders game.
Let's go.
It's the other dude. It was the white boy name who's awesome. I know you're talking about the defense end. I'm trying to think about what his name is. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, he's bad. Both of these guys are bad.
They bad. They are.
They bad.
What he just do? No, he just didn't do that.
We finished.
we gonna have to.
Oh man.
Hey, look, we're gonna have to chip them. We're gonna have to tap them. We're gonna have to do things that slow the rush down. I personally think probably those are two best defense ends we played since Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
These guys are really good. We've had to do different stuff to give Heineke extra time, especially with our, these second and third string linemen we had. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a key point, I think, is their defensive tackles that they have that are, like I said, they top 10 defensive tackles in the league, and they definitely all pros. So we definitely have to do different things to keep them under check so we can, when we do throw the ball, that we can have time to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. Secondly, we're going to have to get another wide receiver going besides, Terry. Yeah. We got to get another wide receiver. No doubt I'm going to throw the ball 50 times a game, but we got to make chunk plays. I think the issue that we're struggling with when we get to the 20-yard line, the field is condensed. Everybody's playing zone, and Heineke doesn't have the strong enough arm to beat the zone. So that means we got to score a little bit less. We're going to have to make some chunk plays to score. So I personally feel 17. What was it 17 points we put on the board last week?
Yeah.
I think we got to score more than 17, guys.
Yeah.
That's 20. I get 24. I think 24 wins.
Our defense played great, but the defense may not play at that level. That they were all. They were all world this last game. You limit your team to 20 points a game. We might can do that.
The pressure's on your boy, Big Al.
The pressure on who?
Scott
Turner. Because Scott Turner can't seem to call a daggone play when he gets down the 20-yard line.
He's the quarterback, can't beat the zone. He doesn't have the arm.
This is the thing that bothers me about it's the personnel too. They play in the red zone. Like you in the red zone and you playing wide receivers that are like about 5'8". So you can't even get the jump ball like for a weak arm quarterback. Like you're right. Like why he can't thread the needle. So all right, then get wide receivers that you can throw jump balls to that gives him the opportunity. That's why I get Logan Thomas is important.
Okay, there you go.
Back. That's why.
So
he's still on the practice squad, but even Cam Sims, they play Humphreys, they play the other white boy that came from BYU.
Hey, Wole, hold on. Listen. Stop.
What did I do? I said
Stop it. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about our clientele. We are 20 yards outside of the ball.
Yeah.
All right. We can't count on JD right now. But Big Al, last week, that's the guy you utilize in that situation.
True.
JD. You don't go to Gibson, you go to JD because of the versatility. Now, but he didn't, because that's the Scott Turner move. Then you do have a mismatch. I am sorry. I am so sorry that Logan Thomas is not even getting the props from his own team. That there's nobody in the league that can check him when, as a tight end, me and Deacon, former tight ends, I know where the play is going. The defensive guy has to figure it out. Who depending in front of me, I'm 6'4", he's 6'3", Logan Thomas 6'5", I guess, I don't know. We are already a mixed match for whoever's in front of us. Because they're not going to bring the little guy down who's fast. And if they put the linebacker on me, he's slow. And so what's the problem is that I don't understand why there's nobody else you're looking at. I don't care. You can put your eyes on me because it's just going to be me against the defender. Unless they double team. And if they double team, then you got your JDs. And if they double team, then you got somebody's open in the slot. Then you have another situation. Scott Turner is not calling any slants down there. He's also, if he's running, he seems to be more keen to running the sweeps outside, the off tackles, versus dropping back and having the threat of a Taylor Heineke that has feet. Al, you've said it yourself. You like quarterbacks that beat their feet. Taylor Heineke could beat his feet. So if he drops back and he doesn't see you standing there as a tight end wide open, I'm gone. And the defense has to adjust to that because guess what? That was first down. I'm going to do the same damn play, second down. Guess what I'm going to do third down? The same damn play because you're going to have to figure out, am I going to score the little 3-foot tall hobbit quarterback or you going to let me throw this ball? That's what you got to figure out. And that's going to mess up the quarterback, man.
Hey, man, first of all, DMV Sports 3, OG's DMV, we all played football, and me and the Deacon know
on the same team.
Jay-Z's hands were butter. This joker, the ball would hit him in the hands and it fall off like cement. So he
remember that.
Hit the ball in the end zone.
I don't remember that. I don't recall that
what he's
at all.
talking about. His hands was terrible.
That might have happened twice, maybe 3 times in the
I don't know what's happening.
It was that way.
We're not throwing you the ball.
Hey,
we're not.
It got better in college, Al. It got better in college. But here's the thing. I agree with that. I said Logan.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
In high school. Crazy in high school? I didn't say that. I said Logan Thomas in the professional league. However, hey man, you can't let that shit go. Hey, look, y'all gotta let that one game go, man. Y'all gotta let it go. All right, but listen, no, for real, seriously, all seriousness.
Y'all let that one game go.
Hey, and that's the problem. The problem is, hey, you know what's funny? See, when you get to the professionals, you can get a situation and a Dotson can go to 5-6 games and do the same thing I did. 5 and 16, and still get one more shot. But I used to do it in high school.
That was Gruden, man. That was Gruden. We're not talking about Gruden.
And y'all gonna bring that up. But anyway, outside of that, I'm saying still, Scott Turner has to understand that definitely, and I'll be the first to admit I was no Logan Thomas. And the idea is being a Logan Thomas. It's just like, and I do appreciate this. Just like Heineke utilizes not only his feet, but utilizes Terry. Heineke would throw the ball to Terry. He could be 4 guys around Terry, but he believes in Terry. And I like that. I'm not mad at that. I'm like, why did he throw it there? But you know what? I'm thinking to myself, he's like, you know what? Compared to everybody on the field right now, this guy has a chance to get it. And I'm going to throw it to him. And that's how your Deshaun Jacksons is now playing for the Raiders right now that we're going to have to worry about. Because Deshaun Jackson to everybody else, except for the Raiders, was cut. You know what I'm saying?
That's wide receiver.
Who the other one?
That's wide receiver.
Who's their best receiver?
Yeah.
Waller's the tight end. I know. He's the best. He's the best player.
The reason why I'm saying that is that we have been playing cover 3.
Yeah.
Right. So Jackson shouldn't get deep.
About to say, because he beats coverage all the time. That's the problem.
But you don't. That's because they be playing a one-on-one. Stop playing that dude one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because every time you can go all game, then leave him open one time one-on-one, and then they throw it to him.
Yeah.
Don't do it. We can check the other receiver.
We should be able to. I mean, we should be able to.
Waller's not going to go deep. He's not going deep.
They got 89, the young boy. They got young boy who are all right. And 89, I forgot. And they got the slot.
Jackson is a professional wide cornerback.
And they got the slot receiver. The slot receiver
went to Clemson. Cornerback.
Yeah,
we have professional cornerbacks. Should be
Hunter Winfrey. Yeah, he's solid. He's solid.
We've seen better.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I agree with you.
We got a dude down for one pass last week.
Yeah, my thing.
Actually, Carr's had a great year.
Yeah.
Because he lost his best receiver through that. It was like an accident, or what was he?
Yeah. He killed. He got a body.
We never talk about that.
He got a body.
Yeah. So that was his best receiver. He lost his best receiver. Jackson was a fill-in for him.
Yeah, they signed him because they needed speed. They needed that position. They needed a speed threat. They didn't have a speed threat because he's gonna be done. He's done.
Right.
The dude is done.
So right now, and Deshaun Jackson's known to blow a tire. We all know that. He's known to blow a tire. So he has 2 good games in him. One was the Dallas. He did the Dallas game. Hopefully we can stop him this time. Now, Trey, is your man going to be the starting safety this year, or he's going to be back to special teams?
Yeah, I know, Joe. Yeah, so he's talking about Everett, Joe.
Yeah, Everett's been on special teams all year.
Oh, man. So here's what I do know about
I actually like the Shazer, too.
Yeah, the Shazer, when you give him the go ahead and put the helmet to the helmet.
Oh, he good.
And I say that sparingly because we know that he's going to be kicked off the league for about 2-3 games when he does it. That play, I was just like, I couldn't say nothing but just say, darn it, you know. So yes, Al, I would think he's regulated to
the fresh in the game too.
Yeah, I know. His uniform was crisp. He had his visor
clean,
on.
Man, he was clean.
I was like, yeah,
clean. He gave up the
he looked like a football player, and lo and behold, that Bama walked right. He didn't even do anything. Just like,
I don't even know what he was doing that play. I looked at, I was like, what were you doing, bro?
I think the Shades just said to him, "Hey, man, you looking good right now, man. That's nice."
He's there you go. Oh,
that's a touchdown, damn. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Because the safety was nowhere there. Like he was just like, I thought that was you, and then they have that awkward conversation. But I would say this, Al. Honestly, to be quite honest with you, DeShazier Everett to this day, I think, is a run stopper, if you want to say.
That's what he is. That's what he is.
In his position. Maybe pass protection might not necessarily be his forte. But I can't say whatever.
Deep cover might be his thing. If he can get right, deep cover might be his thing because you coming forward.
Right.
And
You know it's wild because he used to be a cornerback in college.
The idea.
He used to be a cornerback in college.
I'm trying. I ain't asking him to cover. I'm asking him to come up and hit somebody.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And that's all I'm asking him to do. Because I mean, Cameron Curl got burnt too. Now y'all remember that. So it's not that it can't happen.
Wasn't the first play he came in though.
And Big no, but DeShazier ain't touched the field the whole entire season, man. The man they called.
I mean, look, bro, like
got hurt. And
I'm with you.
DeShazier was over there.
Trey,
he was holding the net.
Trey, that was bad though. Trey, I get what you talking about. You come in, I know you come in and clean, but still, bro, not like that. Like, bro, it was like he shouldn't have been out there. It was like dog. If he was because Apke's trash. If that was like Apke, we would like fry this dude, man. Like
I'm not taking nothing away.
Okay, because I don't care if he was coming that thing first. I think I could have done a better job. Like I could have like bro, step left.
Done worse. Nobody
step left, bro. Step left. Just step left. Give me one step.
Nobody could have done worse. There's nobody who could have done worse. He literally watched that guy score.
He literally watched that thing.
This way, sir. Bro. I mean, all he needed was a flashlight.
Like,
over there might be a good place to celebrate right there in the corner. Celebrate right there. Yeah. I mean, he did everything wrong. And
it like Vegas. He was like blue chips. He was on Vegas. He was on Vegas thing.
So here's what I would say to all of y'all. And the DeShazier Everett that I know, at least watching over the years, that won't happen again. Now, will they give him the opportunity? Probably not. But it would not happen again. Right. That's why it won't happen again. But I don't think it will happen again because I do feel like last year when DeShazier Everett came in the game, it changed the dynamic of the defense. The defense became, other than we're just going to ride you and tackle you and run into my arms and tackle. DeShazier, when he put out that wide receiver from New York and sent him, is he still playing? I want to know if this guy is actually still in the league.
I think he is. I need you talking about not Slayton. Was it Slayton?
I don't know who it was.
It was Slayton.
It was Slayton, right? Now he back Slayton.
All I know is he went back to the 1930s. His helmet was leather because they took the face mask off.
You remember though, DeShazier knocked himself out at the same time.
But he got up and walked over and then fell out. There's a difference.
You know what? And to be honest with you, you're right. We do need that pop. We need that kind of pop.
We need that pop, man.
You
got Landon Collins.
To keep people from going across the middle or keep them looking. We don't have that. We don't have that guy right now. I don't see our guys.
Well, that guy's not supposed to be in the league anymore. Those dudes
are done,
you can still use your shoulder.
Well, now you're right because Jamal Adams was smacking boots. Because Jamal Adams was smacking boots.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Jamal Adams. Big guy, your boy did it. Your boy. No, Williams. Was it Williams? What's his name?
William Jackson?
Jackson. Jackson did it. Jackson came around that corner when the running back came out there. And I heard it. I was like, whoa, I didn't hear that from a Washington defender. He came up and said, what? I said, oh.
Final score.
That's new though because he can't tackle.
The Raiders game. What's going to be the final score, guys? I know we got all wins. What's the final score?
I got 24-17.
Oh, man. Yeah. Same thing. I actually had the same score, 24-17.
I got it close, man. I got it 24-21. 24-21 Washington.
That's good. That's a good score, too.
I'm going to go with, just to be different, 28-14.
You got a blowout almost.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, 24-17 is a blowout for us.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like. That's a blowout for real. Like the way. Look, man, just had the ball last. That's all I care about, man. Give me that 10-minute drive at the end. That's all I care.
That's it.
Give me that 10-minute drive.
I think time of possession is one of the things that we have done at the end of our games.
Great. Now we doing good with that, man.
We did everything we had to do and are possible to give it to Seattle to give them one more shot. When your boy was down there on his knees and that ball pounced over his head, I was just like, "Are you kidding?"
Can we talk about Gibson? Can we talk about Gibson running out of bounds though before the 2-minute warning? Like, why? Why does he keep doing that? Like, real talk. If he didn't do that, we wouldn't be sweating that game. Because that's about.
It is about him having game awareness, but it's also about having a young quarterback in there. It's not telling, hey, listen, when I give you the ball, you make sure you don't go out of bounds.
You putting it on quarterback.
I'm putting it on coaching.
I'm putting it on Scott Turner.
Coaches on the sideline. Coaches on the sideline.
No.
Quarterbacks in the huddle.
When the ball,
Quarterbacks in the huddle.
Okay, listen, but when the call goes in, it goes into that same microphone. Because I don't think Heineke was the one to say that. I don't think Heineke was the one to say that.
You said the coach told the quarterback to tell the running back. Yeah, I'm with that too. I'm just saying that an experienced quarterback would tell this guy, make sure you stay in bounds. We're running the clock.
Yeah. No, Brady would say, you know, I get you. Like the Brady's of the world, they'll make sure they hammer it in. But it's just something to me, it's something you just gotta know, bro. You did it last week too, the week before. You did you can't do it 2 weeks in a row. Like that's my issue. Like, bro, you did it 2 weeks in a row. You did it against the Carolina game, and you did this game too. Like, stop making games.
At least he didn't fumble though. At least he didn't fumble.
Yeah, but I'm like, at least he almost gave us a heart attack. Russ came and got 15. And got 15.
Because you want him to get that effort. You want him to stay in his game, but he's got to reel it in when it's necessary.
It's like sometimes going down like at that situation, like we don't got a kick. They don't have a kicker, but just go down. Like just go down, bro. Like go down. Stop trying to get. You can just go down. Just go down. Because if you get two minutes with no timeouts, having to go the length of the field to get a touchdown is tough. Now you gave him an extra timeout with a 2-minute warning. All right, it's Russ, man. It's Russ.
It was a bad play. Hey, what do I always do every show? At least once. Every show.
I didn't know you was going to do a deep dive.
Yeah,
I got a deep dive for us.
Okay,
deep diving. Deep diving, big ass.
Before you go through the deep dive, just remember we're trying to stay active on YouTube. So, keep it neutral.
This is so funny, man.
Okay? I know where you're going. We say
what that. You can say that. You can say that. You can say that.
Go for it.
Hey, keep your finger on the button, babe. Keep your finger on the button.
Oh, I'll edit it out.
Hey, look, though, for real, Tim. RG3, our former quarterback, one of our best quarterbacks that played in the 2000s, I would say. He had to be. 2012 was a great year. That was one of the best rookie years ever for a quarterback.
Never forget it.
Never forget that one. Bobby played lights out that year. Well, now here it is, 2021, 2022 coming up, and Bobby is going to tap into some financial gain. He's tapping into the book market. And this week, he put out a precursor advertisement for his book for 2022 on his Instagram and Twitter. And basically, we could have a chance to take a look at it, guys. It's basically talking about some of the shenanigans that he went through playing for the Washington football team over the period of time that he played for us. And I believe it was, 2011 to 2016 or something like that he played for us, 2012 to 2016.
2012 to 20.
Yeah.
How much? Maybe 3 years.
That long. It was like 3 years, right?
3 years, probably.
3 years.
Something like that.
And unfortunately, he put up with some health issues with us, some shenanigans between the coach and him, and some shenanigans between the whole organization with his injury and whether he'll play or not play, and different coaching and stuff like that. And also, reportedly, this is the surprise. Allegedly, the book is not out yet, too. We had to put the book out, but allegedly he had some sexual harassment situations that happened, according to his Twitter page, personally to him, while in the time of playing for the Washington football team.
And he was sticking his tongue out overtly sexually to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a sexual type tongue move. And I'm going, I reached my hand out, and he takes his right hand and under mine and immediately grabs my genitals and I'm jump back like, hey, whoa.
All right.
Who touched Bobby? That is the question, Trey Z.
Whoa! Who touched Bobby? Trey Z? Like the way you say that, like, man, don't do it's the way you said that.
After the show, I'm coming to your house. It's the second stand. We're going to talk outside. I don't care who's over there. We're going to talk outside. don't know who. I don't know.
The question is though, to be honest with you, Tracy, let me clear it up a little bit.
Yeah, clear that up.
2 months ago, Bobby requested to play for the football team again.
That was hyperbole. That was.
No, he put out some tweets saying
that was
back into the NFL.
That was smoke.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's not an NFL player anymore, but he did put out like he wanted to get back in the NFL 2 months ago. Now here he is doing.
He would have came.
Let me say
exactly. He would have.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Let's be real. All right, look. The book sales is going to do well. It's going to get his money. He's doing his commentary for the college games. He's getting his money. This is a money grab. Now, am I taking away from him feeling like that this happened? Oh, no, not at all. I don't know. To answer your question, I have no clue. However, I find it interesting that it is after with everything that's going on in our organization, and it's a lot of stuff happening. That he brings it up now, and it's not anything to take away from the fact that if it's true or not, because anybody just like I believe one of his tweets even said, "Hey, a person can come out when they feel like coming out and sharing their truth," and I agree with that. I think that everybody has that opportunity and should share their truth whenever they feel confident enough to do that. Now, with me being judgmental or anything like that, I'll say this. Is that when the book comes out, I will be one of the ones that want to read it to hear what he's actually talking about. And then from there, I will pick up where, we are right now. Because again, at the end of the day, it is his truth. If it's his truth, because that's always something that is in question as well. You know what I'm saying? For example, tonight I was categorized as Butterfingers. And I think that is something that is fraudulent and irresponsible to the individuals. Shut up.
That was one game.
Shut up. It was horrible, and I'll never live that down, and it goes on in my history, whatever like that. And I would say that, and I'm saying that jokingly. But let's think about this in a level of an issue of somebody who's experienced something that was more tragic. Being in a game, because at the end of the game, it's just a game. And I'm way past that. But if there's something that did happen to this gentleman right here, this young man or whatever like that, then it's not so much of a joke. And if that's something that he has to live with and deal with, or whatever like that in his relationship, his credibility and all that stuff, and all those individuals who knew, who did not know, et cetera, then that could be a lot. And if it's something that he want to publicize and put into a book, I think that's something that is worth a read. So, hey, let's find out together. So I'm not going to take anything away from that. I didn't experience that to the point where I'm sharing my quote unquote truth and for it to be scrutinized. Because you got to think about that too. Why would I put it out to be scrutinized? He's always been scrutinized. Even his situation on him leaving the organization, where you have, and I will call him out, Mr. Wole down here, who feels a certain way about Bobby, different from how we feel a certain way about Bobby, based on his departure from the organization. And so with that being said, take that and then you sprinkle in a little bit of what you're talking about, accusations, man, that's heavy, bro. That's heavy.
Yeah, and the timing is questionable due to the fact that all those emails came out and it's hot on everybody's list. Let me see the emails from Ernie Brumfield. Let me see, what happened with the investigation of the Washington Redskins football team that nobody has seen. So there is a market out there for what he's trying to put out there about the football team. This may be a small section, but it may be the sexy section of the book to get the sales in. So I'll wait for the excerpts to come out and I'll read those. I probably won't be reading the book. But we all have daughters, so we take sexual harassment very seriously here at DMV.
That's right.
We don't want to hurt nobody, but just don't mess with our daughters. Mm-hmm. He's talking about himself, but I'm just saying that we take it seriously, and hopefully that if something like that did happen to the point where maybe this is his way of healing and by telling this story and getting it out there to the point where he gets it off his chest. Whatever he has to do, I don't have to buy the book. I don't have to do anything. He's doing what he needs to do, and we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully, that is in the past. That's not currently happening to anybody on the team. But hey, listen, whoever touched Bobby need to come out and say they touched him so that we can get him off and keep it moving, So, Wole.
What's your opinion? Who touched Bobby?
I do not want to get. I don't want you all to get kicked off YouTube, so I will keep this as PC as possible. You know what I mean? All I know is I know a hustler when I see one. And, you know what I'm saying? God bless the hustle. Like you did it right after a Monday night game against Seattle. After a victory, and you come out with that post. Smart PR move, great move. And then you drop not just everybody's entitled, because I'm like, when it happened, I was pro RG3 initially 2012 when I thought he was getting a raw deal. I thought Shannon, I'm on the side of saying that, and I've been saying that you never listen to the player. The player is always going to win a play. It's up to the coach to kind of ran him in and say, no, don't go in the game. So I'm always going to side with the player on that situation, how he got hurt and how his injury got worse. So I agree with some, like when I saw his little sneak peek thing on Twitter, I was like, yeah, that portion of it I totally agree with. But like being opportunistic, that's what RG3 is being here to me. Like he's taking advantage of a situation. Washington, obviously, he's going through so many scandals, so many things. We already know that the organization is what it is. We know about it, so he's playing on it. But I'm like, dude, you added on to the dysfunction. You know what I mean? Like you were part of the dysfunction. So it's hard for me to judge the dude off that. But again, try and make your money, get your money, bruh. But you ain't fooling me, bruh. I ain't Bobo the fool. You ain't fooling me. You know what I'm saying? And you better be telling the truth. I'll put it this way: I better be wrong, because this is my issue with with sexual harassment in general. You got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of true stuff, but there's a lot of fake stuff too. And what you do is you diminish the people out there that are really getting it, because now people, when you cry wolf and you lying, the people that's crying wolf, it's actually happening to them. People don't believe it. So you better be telling the truth. You better be telling the truth, because if it come out looking real fraudulent, like, bro, there's serious problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that dude's already delusional. Like, something about that kid is different. Griffin is different every which way. And I rooted for this dude. I want everybody to know this. Like, when 2012 went down, even 2013, when you told me, even when he left, and folks like Kurt, RG3, I was like, RG3, forget Kurt. I was that dude. But I'm telling you, bro, like, as the years went on, you get to see people's character, how they conduct certain things. I just ain't like some of the stuff he was coming out of his mouth with.
Well, I hope you're not playing with this, because, like you said, sexual harassment is a serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are some brothers out there. I'm sure this is happening too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Joy Taylor, you can sexual harass me. FYI, I'm saying.
What?
You can. You can, Joy. Joy, I ain't going to even complain. You can do it. I know. I'll stay. Hey, I'll do that thing too.
It was a great show, guys.
Tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on Twitter at Wole_USS. Also, you can find me on find our Urban Sports Scene on Facebook. Just search the Urban Sports Scene on Twitter at Urban Sports Scene. We got a podcast that you can search. Just look out. I mean, check out the Urban Sports Scene. Search Urban Sports Scene on all the podcast platforms. We're on there, so do it that way. You know what I'm saying? That way.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. As you know, you need to subscribe, resubscribe, because
resubscribe. You thinking y'all subscribe? Y'all not. We the OGs of the DM3 now. We're not DM3 Sports 3. Go with that too, but we had to do some things.
Cause I was searching that. That's what happened. Cause I was searching that.
Oh, don't bring that up. We the OGs of DMV Sports.
That's why.
And we're happy. And we're happy with YouTube because YouTube, you got a great platform. Love it.
They're just swell. They're just swell.
Wole gonna get it kicked off.
Watch out now.